Welcome to the Professor of Perseverance podcast. I am the Professor of Perseverance, Dr. James Purdue himself. Hey, this is October. October is known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so this month I'm going to try to get on several people who have gone through their breast cancer and see how they were able to cope through, however they were to get through it, how they were diagnosed, and just get their story and hopefully help someone else in the future. Hey, a fact about breast cancer is 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer over a lifetime. And this is on the Breast Cancer Foundation website. So in 2020, an estimate over 276,000 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in women, as well as over 48,000 of new cases of non-invasive breast cancer. Wow. So, and then I read a while ago that breast cancer, other than skin cancer, breast cancer is the most common cancer for females other than skin cancer. 64% of breast cancer causes are diagnosed as localized stage, for which the 5-year survival rate is 99%. And this year, there's an estimate 42,170 women that would die from breast cancer this year. And believe it or not, although it's rare, men can develop breast cancer as well. And estimate in 2020, there'll be over 2,600 men that would be diagnosed in the United States, and approximately 520 of them will not survive. So, today our guest is a returner. She's been on before with us, and she's back by popular demand. Nancy!
Hi, James.
How are you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm sitting out here on my new porch enjoying the weather.
It's a
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yep.
Not as warm as I would like it to be. It's a little nippy for
For
me.
me either, but hey, it is what it is.
That's right. So, what's one of those things they say? If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes.
Oh, I heard 5, so I don't know.
5 over there, but you probably right more than I am with that. Well, Nancy, this is October now, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I noticed,
Yes,
like
it
on
is.
most of these sporting events, especially the NFL, they'll be wearing some type of pink attire, something pink. Hey, I got on my pink shirt for our program
Uh,
today. My pink
yes,
shirt. It doesn't
yep.
say breast cancer awareness on there, but it does say I work hard so my dog can have a better life. So that's what it
Oh, I
says on
love
it.
it. I love it.
But I got my pink on to support the program for today.
I do too, so thank you.
Thank you. Yes, you got a pretty pink on as well. So,
Yes.
Nancy, go ahead and tell us your story about your breast cancer.
It's very interesting. Actually, we were not planning on going for that reason. It started out as migraines. And my sister Kathy said to me, "When was the last time you had a physical?" And I said, "I can't remember." She said, "Well, you're due for one." So I said, "Okay, we'll do it around your birthday." And so this way I could remember every year to go ahead and get my physical done. Well, when we went, I had a mammogram done and they found a spot, and something in me just said, "Uh-oh, uh-oh." I just knew it. I don't know what told me, but well, me and you both know what told me, but for the rest of the world, we'll just leave that, you know.
Oh no, we'll go ahead and tell it. It was
Oh,
God sending the
yep,
word to you
yep.
that to help better prepare you.
Yes, he did. He did.
Yes.
Um, basically, I'm going to put it. I'll just. I'm not going to beat around the bush. The Holy Spirit already prepared me when I was getting ready to go for this physical, and I already seen in the spirit that I was going to have to go through a fire, but I would come out in the fire, and I said, "Okay, whatever you have for me, I'll do it." Well, sure enough, when we went for that mammogram, they found a lump. I'm like, okay. So, come to find out, they told me it was cancer, but it was not actual breast cancer. It started out there, but I found out there was other cancers through my body, and it was a lymphoma. But thank God it ended up in my breast, because if it didn't, I would have never known I had the other cancers in my body.
And J Dog. Hey J Dog, thank you for coming in, buddy. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show with Nancy today. Well,
Thank you,
and
J
also,
Dog.
yeah, and you say, thank you goodness that that the lump was found from the mammogram, because which led to other spots cancer located in your body as well. And so if it wasn't
Yes,
for, but so let's go back even further. If it wasn't for the migraine, and then
yeah,
your sister saying, "Hey, when's the last time you had a physical? Let's get this taken care of." Looked at. And so again, if it wasn't for the migraine to set off this pattern, you
I would have never. I can honestly say this, James. We would have never found that lump because it wasn't. It wasn't above my skin. It was underneath my skin.
mm-hmm. So
So therefore, who knows what would have been happening? So I am grateful to the Lord Jesus for the migraines to have me go and get checked up. I may not be sitting here today having this conversation about breast cancer awareness or supporting people going to get their yearly mammograms because of the fact that just may not be here.
exactly. And isn't it amazing when you listen to your Holy Spirit, listen to God, listen to the Word, however it's given to you, whether it's an intuition, a gut feeling, however people want to put it. But when you listen to your body, it tells you when something's right or something's wrong. And if you listen and go find out more, you may find out again what's the underlying that's more treacherous.
Exactly. I mean, I'm going to be truthful with you, James. Sorry, I'm moving my head around, but if you all knew about the show the last time, you'll understand why the head's moving. So, it's due to my eyesight. So, but anyway, um, am I getting out? I can't. Anyway, but yes, I agree with you. And that's what happened. That's what happened. And I am very grateful that I was able to catch this in time. I have another family member who is going through it now. And thank God they caught it in enough time where they could take care of it. Even though I had a lighter chemo treatment, those chemo treatments were still rough. I mean,
Oh
they were not
yes,
easy.
yes.
They were not, they messed with your brain. They messed with my immune system. Um, they're, I can tell you what, man, they were not the easiest things to go through. I, go ahead.
Oh no, no. I was going to. All I was going to say is, hearing not just hearing breast cancer, but hearing the word cancer. It's just scary, and it's the C word is so scary, and
Actually,
other people. I mean, a lot of people when they first hear it, they think of it as a death sentence right off the bat.
Well, you know what? It was funny because when I first heard it, I was at my neighbor's house, and the way the doctor explained it to me is you have a weird cancer. So I said, "Oh, a weird cancer for a weird person."
There
And
you
he
go.
just was like,
There you
"Okay."
go.
And he said, and even when my sister Kathy called me back and explained it to me, I said, "Okay, Kath, I just got a weird cancer for a weird person like me." And she's like, "Oh my goodness, I cannot believe you took that so lightly." And I kind of just, you know, I never asked the church for healing. The only thing I asked them to do was pray for strength because I wanted people in my family to be encouraged and believe in God and believe in Jesus, and just to see what, and use what I was going through as a witnessing tool. That's what it was for me. It was a witnessing tool to say, I cannot believe how, they all said, I can't believe how brave you are. I can't believe how brave you are. And I just kept pointing my finger and my head upward just to let them know that's where I'm getting it from.
Oh yes. So and again, and it's not just cancer, but people are watching to see how you or me or whoever goes through trials and tribulations so they can have you as an example for them because they feel they're not strong enough. And then they'll see
Yes.
someone go through it that they think is stronger than themselves. And it gives them the courage, the strength, the possibility, the positive mindset to get through it as
Hmm.
well.
Yes. And that is so true. Like, I had a sister that died from cancer, and it started in her breast and then ended up in her brain. And, it's just, it depends on the cancer.
Yes,
Everybody's cancer is different.
yes. And also how fast you find the cancer.
Exactly.
The faster, the sooner, the better than the later
Yes.
stages as well. So
Oh,
now when did all this take place? But how many years ago?
let me see. I've been cancer free. All right. I think it was in 2000, either 2018. Yes, 2018. I think it was. And then I had to, yeah, I think it was the beginning of 2018 or the beginning of 2017. It's somewhere's in there.
All right,
I had to wait a year before they took out my port, and this past June, I believe it was. I think it was this past June. I just got my port out.
all right,
So
okay. So man, the port to, when they put in is that where all the treatments go through?
yes, yes.
All
I
right,
still hold the scar from my port, because I'm so fair skinned and everything. But they had my port right up in here, and boy, I'll tell you what, my port. One treatment it flipped upside down, and that was my third treatment in was my worst treatment ever.
wow,
Yeah,
wow.
it was my worst. It flipped totally upside down. It took about four nurses to do it, to put my stuff in me. And I came home, and I think instead of not feeling good for one day, I was sick for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, my mom, she didn't go through breast cancer, but she had lung cancer, and they had to go in and remove her part of her right lung, the
Oh,
middle lobe in her right lung, removed it, and she had other treatments, like you said, the chemo and stuff. And she was told the type she took, she didn't lose her hair, she didn't lose, it didn't go bald or anything. They told her what might happen would be that Yeah, like if she's taking a bath or showering, and if her fingernail was to fall off, said don't get scared. That's part of the possibility. But she didn't lose her hair, so which was thankful for that to happen.
Yeah, and they told me the same thing, James. They said I wouldn't lose my hair either, but but it was still hard on me. The treatments were still real hard.
Well, they were still hard on her as well, but there are two different types of cancers, like you said. Now, what have you learned along the way of your journey with this?
Oh boy. I kind of basically, I'm going to be honest with you, I learned a lot. I learned a lot along the way. I really learned, and I want to put this out there for everybody who is either going through it right now. The one thing I have learned is it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. That was my biggest problem. I I didn't understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I've learned through that as you're going through these chemo treatments, it's okay. You're allowed to feel the way you're feeling. And it's going to take you a year to get back to your normal self. It's okay. You're allowed to feel that way, even after you're done the treatment. Um, and also, when they tell you you're done, don't it's okay to be disappointed that there's no hand clapping, there's no bells and whistles like they show on some of the people on TV. It's okay. Don't expect that. You're just done, you're over with. It's okay to feel disappointed that you didn't receive that kind of, recognition. It's okay because I felt the same way. I'm like, well, where's the bell to ring? Where's,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's because to us, that's a big accomplishment coming through a cancer thing. I don't care how light your cancer is or how big it is, it's still coming through a major thing after you're done and they tell you you don't need treatments. That's a big celebration. And if there's no bell to ring at the hospital or nothing, then you're allowed to feel that disappointment. You're allowed to feel however you're going to feel. I
You
mean, it's,
have a big celebration when you get home.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way, though. Because the shows on TV make it out bigger than what it really is. So don't go by what you see on the TV.
Real life is little
Yeah,
different than TV.
yes. Try to make that distinction because, I just, it just didn't. Well, see, I didn't know. I mean, sometimes we know what to expect, but then we don't. They can talk to you and tell you and this and that, but it's your own journey you have to walk through.
What's that one saying? When you least
Yep.
expect it.
Yes.
Yeah, when you least expect it. So to
Yes.
come. So, well, what advice? What other advice can you give someone that's going through any type of breast cancer, or advice that they can help someone that they may know is going through it?
I would say it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. It's okay. Just try to have, if you can, good family around you. Try to have, if you don't believe in something, okay, and try to get yourself, if you don't feel good for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, it's okay. But try your best to at least a little bit motivate yourself. Try to get up and do what you can. And if you can't do it, at least you made the effort. And if you can't, oh well. but do
On
what you can and just be proud of the small steps.
on any given day, when we're as healthy as can be,
That's cool.
we still have our ups and our downs,
That's right.
and it's getting ourselves up out of that valley to get us
Yep.
back up on the mountain.
Mountaintop. Yep.
So even though you and whatever else that someone may be going through, there's going to be more than there may be, like you said, maybe a week's worth that they're in that valley because they're just not feeling good from the treatments or from the cancer itself. But then eventually, like you just said, be proud of the small steps, and then those small steps going to get you back up that mountain where you're on top and feeling great again.
That's true. That is so true. And I can say from my own experience, okay, it's okay to, like I said, if you're going to, my experience for me, I mean, it took me a year for my system to get back to normal. Whatever that may be, it's okay. Take your time. Allow yourself allow yourself to feel the way you're feeling. That's what my biggest issue was. Allow yourself and try to find a friend who you can, who is either going through it, has gone through it. I have a friend up in New Jersey who has dealt with cancer. Okay. And she was my venting board. And if it wasn't for her, I don't, she helped, I was allowed to vent. I was allowed to talk to her. I was allowed to cry with her. She cried with me. She vents with me. I mean, find that one special friend that you can find, because you may have days where you just want to raise your hands up and give up. And you don't know why, because you're not that type of person. It's chemo will have an effect on you. And let me tell you, it's okay. It's okay. You're allowed. You're allowed to be snappy. You're allowed to be sleepy. You're allowed. It's 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 allowed. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be that way even when they tell you the chemo's over. You're going to have a year until you are back to your old self.
Your old
That's
weird
the part
self,
I
huh?
couldn't. Yeah, that's the part I had problem with. I wasn't my old self, and I had an issue with that. That was the part that frustrated me.
Because you didn't feel your normal going through all this.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't feel. I was like questioning why, and it was rough. My brain meant I knew, but I didn't know. It was like it was a fighting with my two, like conflict, on one side of the brain, on the other side of the brain. I knew what was going on, but I really didn't know what was going on. And it was like, you know, your brain wants to do one thing and your body doesn't. And it was
A little
just,
battles taking place.
yes, yes, that's what it was.
And is that where you try to do what's called you got to go take mind over matter?
It was not easy. That's where your friend, if you have a friend that you can vent to, that's where that comes in. Yes, I could always pick up the phone and call her and, just cry, scream, yell, whatever.
That's a good support system.
Yeah, it comes down to having like I have a sister right now who's going through it, and she knows she can pick up the phone anytime and call me and vent. And I will not, and she has another sister if she needs to talk to her too, you know, and that's the main thing. She has a support system. The best thing you can do is try to find yourself a support system. That's the best thing you can do. It's all about having support.
And that goes back to having not just a support system, but someone that you can open up, trustworthy, knowing that they won't use whatever you say behind your back to keep
Exactly.
everything, and for you to be able to open up honestly, fulfill openness.
Yes. Yes. I agree. And for me though, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of it too, James, and I'm going to say this, Jesus, my church, my faith is also what got me through a lot of that.
And again, that goes to a minute ago. You mentioned about having something higher, something
Yep.
bigger than you, something more stronger than you, something that would give you the strength.
Yes.
Where you
Yes.
and I, we talk Jesus, it may be something else by someone else or other groups, or again, it may just be self consciousness of myself, my higher being, body, whatever. But you gotta have to have something that you can go to that's greater than you to give you the strength to help out.
Yes, and that's so true. I
So,
totally agree with that.
what is one thing that you could share that helped you through your journey? And I think you mentioned may have touched on it here. But what is one thing that you can share that helped you through your journey?
Oh, faith, family, and friend.
Yes, the three
That's
F's.
yep. That's the. I'm being honest with you. That is the one thing that and true to form, my I'll call him my other half, Daniel, was a big help to me because if I ever needed anybody to talk to, he was there for me too. He was a big help going through it as well. I could always pick up the phone and talk to him too. He was a also a big part in that as well. And I
Yes, and
knew,
again, another part of your support system. Hey, another friend, Jay, just came in. The guy, Jay, him and I went to high school together. Hey, good afternoon, Jay. Thank you for coming in and listening to
thank
some of
you,
Nancy's
Jay.
story.
Thank you, Jay.
So, all right, Nancy, we're going to get ready to wrap it up here. This has been great. This is my first time doing a show about breast cancer or anything. And so I got another one coming up Sunday. It's going to be 1:30
Good.
Central Time. 1:30 Central Time. On the Pacific Time, it's 11:30. Dana, she'll
Okay.
be on. And so if
Good.
anybody else wants to come in Sunday, again, our time be 1:30. And she's going to give her,
Right.
her story, her journey. So, Nancy, if you can just finish us off here and give us something positive, whether they're going through breast cancer or any other cancer or just some type of struggle. If you give something positive to get us through today.
Oh boy, something positive. Um, don't worry about tomorrow, for today has enough. Deal with today, and then if tomorrow comes, you worry about that when it gets here.
Awesome, that's cool. Those saying is, yeah, you live one day at a time. So,
Yep,
I mean, we've got to look forward in other areas because we've got to prepare for it. But when we're anxious, sick, tired, let's get through today and not get overwhelmed with what's ahead of us.
that's right. Because when you're dealing with cancer and cancer treatments, just deal with what's in front of you. Because tomorrow may not come for anybody. So you deal with what's in front of you, worry about what's now, and then once you get through the now, then if tomorrow comes, you deal with that as it happens. Don't get yourself, my best advice is don't get overwhelmed.
There you go. Thank you. And that's a not only just for this. It's most of the time in life. Don't get overwhelmed. So,
Yep.
Nancy, thank you for being. You've blessed all of us, telling your story. Giving us through
Thank you.
your journey, and we appreciate it. Tell the people how they can maybe get hold of you on Facebook or whatnot, and maybe they want to say hello and maybe thank you for your advice, maybe. If you can tell them how
Um,
to get a hold of you.
I don't really know how to do that, but if you look under my name is Nancy Krause, and you will see a Siamese kitty cat.
As her Facebook
Yep,
picture image
image.
is a Siamese kitty cat, and it's
Yep,
Nancy, and it's
Krause.
K Crouch.
Krause.
Yes, Nancy Krause.
A no
Yeah,
Krause.
yes, and so
Yes,
that will get you to her Facebook, and maybe somebody can say hello and make a new friend there. So,
yes.
well,
If
thank you,
anybody
everyone. I'll go
needs,
ahead.
in, if anybody needs encouragement, um, that's going through any kind of cancer treatments, please. I am I am always checking, and if you would, when you send me a request, let me put in cancer underneath your request so I know that you are needing encouragement because I will be more than happy to encourage.
And I bet you throw a prayer around for them too if they ask, wouldn't you?
Oh, oh, as always.
Even if they don't ask, I bet you're going to throw a prayer at them.
Oh yeah, I do it in my mind anyway.
There you go. Well, Nancy, thank you for your positivity. Thank you for your journey. And we're blessed that you're here to empower all of us to give us strength in case we go through cancer or anything else that we go through. But you've been a great example. Everyone else, if you've been here listening, thank you for showing up. For others coming back on the replay, thank you again. Be sure to like and follow. Be sure to share this out to someone you think you may need some encouragement. And for everyone else, I'm Dr. James Purdue, the professor of perseverance. Thank you for coming on the
Thank you,
podcast.
James.
Do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.